Ladies and gentlemen, I am Tosh Berman. I'm here for Artbook, D.A.P, and our subject matter is Edward Hopper, American painter. This book here, though it says Hopper, the actual official title is Edward Hopper, A Fresh Look at Landscape. And Hopper is probably the most unique as well as the most iconic American painter. He's probably the most American of all painters in a sense that his subject matter is always either landscapes, usually in the New York area, outside of New York City, as well perhaps inside New York City itself, and also sometimes of boats and of the ocean or seasides. He's also famous for solitary figures looking outside the window. And Edward Hopper was born in the 1890s. He died in 1967. And his medium of painting was or is either oil painting, oil on canvas, or watercolor. And interesting enough, he was married to a painter. Her name is Josephine, Nivison Hopper. And her nickname was Jo. And Jo was very much of a partner of Edward. Reports said that she was very outgoing, very liberal, had a social life, where her husband, Edward, was very conservative politically and more of a stay-home type of person and more reclusive, which is not surprising when you see his paintings, because his paintings are very reclusive and kind of conservative in a sense. Not strictly a political conservatism, though that could be hinted, but more of a conservatism of a quiet life of sorts. You can look at his paintings, especially his landscapes, as a quiet moments in time, but I see despair, loneliness, and isolation, which as I'm speaking now in the time of their coronavirus, where a lot of people are experiencing isolation for the first time or a great degree of isolation and alienation. And Hopper, well, not by design, but just by what his work is like, he's very much right now the artist of 2020. And again, what's interesting about Hopper, especially this book focuses on landscape painting more than his portraits of people. He's a figurative painter, a realist painter. But what does that mean exactly? The way he looks at a landscape or a set of trees or the ocean by the beach, there's a psychological fear or dread to his work. He's very much a noir type of an artist. Or that famous painting called Nighthawk, which is a couple and a guy behind the counter working like a diner. And it's probably the ultimate image of a diner in American painting or American culture. It's such an iconic image. There's like parodies of it throughout time. And many movies have used that imagery in their films. There's a movie starring Steve Martin called Pennies from Heaven, a great film, should track it down. But in that film, they use a lot of Hopper's imagery in that film. Alfred Hitchcock, in the film Psycho, based the main house where the Psycho lived and his mother, is based on Edward Hopper painting. So filmmakers were very much in tune to Edward Hopper's work because there is a narration of sorts, and there is a narrative story sorts. The thing is, we're not getting the beginning, middle, and the end. We're just seeing like a middle of the story. And that's sort of the beauty of Hopper's work as well, because it's not a story, but it's a hint of a story. And when you see a painting of a woman looking in a very clean bedroom, but the windows are open, she's looking out towards nature or a city landscape, you don't know what she's thinking or what her thoughts are. And I think as you as a viewer can add that element to the painting. And that's sort of the beauty of Edward Hopper's work. And another artist, strange enough, that remind me of Hopper is another Ed Ruscha. And I think of Richet, not all of Richet's work, but especially Ed Richet's gas station paintings, which I believe was Standard Gas. I could be wrong, I'm just doing from memory. But Standard Gas was a very common, very popular brand of gas station or oil that was sold in America. I presume still. I don't drive. Or go to the gas station. All my car culture is through Ed Richet or Edward Hopper. But nevertheless, Hopper himself, like this is the cover, actually a good representation of the book. This is a thing of a gas station. And it's a very interesting painting because what it is, you take a look, it's of interest, is that it's a gas station in the middle of the country, like middle of a forest. There's one road. You're looking at this painting, you're looking at it as perhaps it's dawn, very early in the morning, or it's dusk, just as it gets dark. There's no cars. There's only one man dressed in a tie, shirt and tie, and a vest, which could be a uniform, but it doesn't look very uniform. It looks like maybe this gentleman is the owner of this gas station because there's no cars around here at all. No cars on the road. Looks like it's total quiet. And it's just him looking at the gas pump, either fixing it or changing it around or doing displays. You see the architecture of the gas station itself, the housing of the gas station. It's very well lighted. Again, it's either early in the morning or just getting dark. And this is mobile gas. And mobile, like what Richet's, these are like very iconic American companies that any American at that time would know this gas station. So Richet and Hopper used popular brand names of sorts in their work. Not all their work, but the gas stations are very exact. There's nothing abstract about these works. And Edward Hopper is the painter of alienation, isolation, despair. And this book is quite interesting. There's like 4 essays here. One essay specifically about Hitchcock and Edward Hopper's painting. And again, the beauty of Hopper, which has always been very consistent in America, and especially now during the virus issue, where we're all isolated as we are right now. I'm talking to you. I haven't seen anybody out in the real world for months. And as I'm looking out the window like a Hopper painting, I'm looking at the camera at you. So in a sense, we all feel what Edward Hopper's subject matter feels, perhaps. And I think when you look at this book on the landscapes, the same image. It's out of loneliness, despair, a certain amount of beauty, not depression, but moody. This is Tosh Berman for Artbook D.A.P. Thank you.